Hey guys, how's it going? I am coming to you today to talk about how to keep your house clean. Alright, so first I want to say is depending on your house, sometimes it is easier to keep it clean than if you have a different house. We lived in a condo before we lived in this house, and my condo is clean, but not as clean as this house is. And it was smaller, so it's not even that. I know a lot of people say if you have a smaller space, it's easier to clean, and so it's going to be cleaner. But that's not always true, because if the space you're living in is too small for your lifestyle, it's going to feel messy and dirty just because you don't have anywhere to put the stuff that you need. And I am not like keeping stuff that I don't need. I like to have only what we use. If we don't use it, then I get rid of it. So I'm not a hoarder by any means. But it's just that, like, especially homeschooling, you have stuff you have to use. And when you're in a 1,000 square foot condo with 5 people, there's nowhere to put stuff. So my house was as clean as possible, but now that we're actually in a normal family home that's adequate for our size of family, it is so much easier to keep it clean. So just keep that in mind. Like, don't say, oh, my house is too small, so I'm not going to try. I mean, I tried and I kept it looking nice to the best of my ability, but it is easier to keep things clean if everything has a place, and it can go in that place. All right, so keeping your house clean, especially when you have lots of little people living with you, is not always an easy task. It's actually almost never an easy task. But I have found a few things that have really helped me keep my house clean on a daily basis. Now, it's not perfect. There are still toys around. There are still dirty dishes usually throughout the day. I mean, there are 6 of us living here, so you know how that is. It's impossible to always have all the dishes clean and all the laundry done. But for the most part, my house is pretty clean, and if someone were to come to my door right now, I would not be like in a panic, like, oh my word, my house is a disaster. Like, is it perfect? No, but it's clean and it's acceptable. So let me share some of my secrets. All right, first tip, and everyone always says this, but just clean up after yourself. But like, so mealtime. You know, what I found is even if I can't necessarily wash all the dishes, especially at dinner time, I do pretty good with breakfast and lunch of actually cleaning up everything and washing it all and putting it up or in the dishwasher, you know, at least. But dinner, a lot of times is hard for me because once I finish dinner and then it's like the kids need to get ready for bed and there's just like all this stuff that just happens, and it's like 8 o'clock and I haven't cleaned up dinner and I'm like, oh shoot. But what I found really helps is at least always getting the table cleaned off. At least make sure that table is clean and you've got the dishes in the sink or in the dishwasher if you can, but that really helps to at least the next morning when you get up, you're like, oh, I have a nice clean table. And it doesn't take that long to then throw those dishes in the dishwasher the next morning. I do that a lot of times. I do more dishes in the morning than I do at night because I'm just too tired at night. And honestly, who's coming to your house once like 8 or 9 o'clock comes anyway? Like, I'm just gonna go to bed, I'm done. So I do a lot more dishes in the morning, and then I definitely clean up after breakfast and lunch, and I always tidy the kitchen a little while I'm cooking dinner. But that helps keep the kitchen always in a presentable state and pretty clean. So that's a trick I have for that, or if you want to call it. All right, so another place that I really like to keep clean is my living room. And that is something I clean probably a couple times a day. It doesn't take very long. It's just a matter of fluffing a few pillows, putting a blanket back on the couch, because no matter how many times I tell the kids, this room is off limits, you're not supposed to play in here, they play in there. I make them come grab their toys out of there, and I like to have my living room as one place in the house that's always kind of set and ready to go. It just makes me feel like the whole house is clean. So that would kind of be my tip, I guess, is find what is most important to you and what makes you feel good about your house, and make sure that's your priority. If you feel good, if your floors are always vacuumed and mopped, then make that your first priority to do. Make sure you always are vacuuming and mopping, even if it doesn't make sense, like you feel like you should do all the dishes before you mop the floor. But once you do all the dishes, you don't have time to mop the floor, then mop your floor. It'll make you feel better, because that's what's important to you. Same thing like making your bed. If making your bed just makes you feel like everything is better and in place, then always make your bed first thing in the morning. Just find that one thing that just to you, if that is done, you're like, oh, thank goodness my house is done. And start with that. Just start with that. Another thing I do is if I am cleaning the whole house, like I have a cleaning day, say, I start in my bedroom. I always start in my bedroom, make sure it's tidy and fresh and clean. And that way, when I'm done at the end of a day of cleaning, I can come back to my bedroom and it's a nice quiet haven that's clean and well put together, and I just feel so good. But if I spend my day cleaning the house and I come back to my bedroom and it's a disaster, it's kind of depressing because you're like, I spent all day cleaning and the one place that I'm going to now sit and relax and spend the rest of my day in is not so nice. So that's where I like to start, is my bedroom. And then I kind of work my way through the house. All right, so another quick tip that I have for keeping the house clean is not to have too much clutter. If you don't have stuff that you don't need, if you don't have too many picture frames or books or knickknacks sitting out and laying around, it's easier to keep clean and it just automatically looks cleaner. So I try and keep things like that to a minimum so that I have a lot of free spaces, and it makes dusting easier too because you can quickly just dust and be done. Like, I'm not saying don't decorate, because I love to decorate, but just don't, if you're really wanting to keep everything clean and neat looking and not clutter looking, don't over decorate. Keep things to a minimum. That really just helps free things up and mentally makes you feel like things are cleaner, even if it's still kind of messy. And with that, I feel like if you feel like things look a little cleaner, it's easier to kind of motivate to clean because you can see change, and it's not like I keep cleaning and everything still looks cluttered. So that's kind of, you know, a nice way to help motivate you for that. Laundry is always kind of a struggle for me. It didn't used to be. I think it's just because there's so many of us that no matter how much laundry I do, there seems to always be more laundry. So I found, in reality, this doesn't always happen, but if I were to do at least one load of laundry a day, wash, dry, put away, it at least helps maintain it and keep kind of just a few things dirty, pretty much like what we were wearing that day. But that doesn't always happen. I don't always have time to wash, dry, and fold and put away a whole load of laundry. So I try and do at least like 2 loads every other day, kind of a thing. And then some days, like yesterday, sometimes I will also not do laundry almost all week. Honestly, we don't have enough clothes to last us the entire week without doing any laundry. At least some, like my son doesn't. I do, but anyway. So like I'll take one day and all I do is laundry all day long and just get it fresh start. And those are on weeks that I'm super busy and I'm in and out and I just haven't had time to actually do the laundry. But it does work better if you can do at least a load a day. It really helps minimize the laundry buildup. And then my last tip would be, and this kind of goes for everyone, but especially if you have little kids or a lot of little kids, is it's not all going to get done. You could spend all day long cleaning, scouring your house, and you're going to get a lot of it done, but they're going to go behind you and pull stuff back out. So, you know, as long as you know you've gotten the house pretty much cleaned up, like dirty stuff, like vacuum, dusted, you know, if there's toys laying around, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's going to happen. They're not going to live with you forever. And you know, I'm telling this to myself, you guys too, because sometimes I'll get the whole house clean and see the playroom and be like, oh, it's a disaster. But I have to remind myself, the playroom's not there to look perfect and Pinterest picture pretty and all this stuff. It's there for them to play in. So if there's train tracks all over the floor from a thing they've built, it may not look pretty, but they're playing with it and having fun. So I know that I've dusted in there. It's dusted. It's not dirty. It's just got stuff. And their stuff, that's how they use it, is playing with it on the floor. So just realize it's not always all going to get done. You're going to go into a bathroom and see that they got toothpaste all over a sink even though you just cleaned that bathroom that morning. Things like that happen. And you're just going to, you know, it's okay. It's okay. It's going to be fine. And I've been trying to use these as ways to help them learn to clean because they are starting to get into that age where they can actually help clean. So when I go in and find toothpaste all over the sink, I'm like, okay, I just cleaned this. now you need to clean this. And so I make him clean it up when I can. Sometimes it's late and I'm like, whatever. But that's the goal. And then my hope is after a few times of doing that, he'll either just start cleaning it up on his own without being told, or he'll realize, Mom cleaned my sink, I better keep it clean, and be more careful next time. So, you know, I've also been trying to have them help me do laundry. I feel like they're old enough to start helping put the laundry in, dry the laundry, fold the laundry. So that's a good way to help them start getting into chores. But sometimes it's just easier to do it yourself. But yeah, you all know how that goes. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope this gave you a few tips. I don't know. I will see you all soon. And please subscribe and like this video, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.